García. Soy miembro de Brandworkers del 2011.
Hola, mi nombre es María Corona. Soy miembro de Brandworkers desde el 2008 y estoy viviendo en Nueva York hace 32 años.
Hola, mi nombre es Rosario Ramírez. Soy miembro casi 10 años de Brandworkers.
Soy Sabino, soy miembro de Brandworkers por 7 años. Tengo 20 años trabajando en la industria de alimentos produciendo pan.
Muy buenas noches. Good evening, Brandworkers community. My name is Dr. Patricia Campos-Medina, and I am the incoming Executive Director of the Worker Institute at Cornell University. What a pleasure to be with all of you tonight. Thank you for joining us. For those of you new to Brandworkers, Brandworkers is a member-led organization of food factory workers organizing a union with the industrial workers of the world and fighting for dignified jobs and power in society. We welcome you all in solidarity. If you haven't already, please introduce yourself in the chat right now. Let us know who you are, and we are so grateful that you have joined us today. Tell us your name and tell us where you're watching from. And if you like, leave a question. Brandworkers Executive Director Daniel Gross and I will be addressing your questions later in the program. Please let us know where you're joining us from. I'm giving you some time so you can let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. Welcome, 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 everybody. It's wonderful to see so many familiar names on the chat coming through. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we come together as a community to honor two remarkable champions of economic justice, Rebecca Dixon of the National Employment Law Project and the children of Smithfield. represented by Dulce Castañeda. In a year marked by unimaginable loss, we are inspired by the enormous acts of solidarity and the hope they bring to us, to the movement and their struggle. Tonight, we also take the opportunity to better understand where we are as a community and as a movement. Together, we all hear and learn from food factory workers directly. Even before COVID-19 struck our community, New York City food factory workers faced dangerous conditions and rampant exploitation. Workers struggled to support their families on meager wages, and over 40% of workers will get injured on the job. Immigrant workers, especially women and people of color, face severe discrimination and disrespect at work. This pandemic intensified the struggles as thousands lost their jobs. It increased economic inequality, and it made the issues that we all know existed even worse. The pandemic intensified the struggles that we already know about, while others were forced into longer hours of work to meet a spike in demand. Workers who remain on the job face increasingly unsafe working conditions as employers fail to provide adequate sick leave, proper protection, and equipment. They fail to follow social distancing measures and clear information about the spread of COVID-19 in the factories. Across the country, this reckless disregard for workers' health has led to thousands of deaths and incalculable needless suffering. Today, workers' very survival depends on our solidarity. As we hear from workers tonight, we are reminded of the enormous power that we have when we work together towards a vision of a more just food system. New York City's food factory workers have done what it takes to survive, even as they have kept us all fed. Workers have shown up to work and demanded what they needed to stay safe. They organized with their coworkers, their neighbors, and their loved ones to protect their communities and their families. And for every worker who has grounded their survival in solidarity, a growing movement of workers has risen beside them. We are witnessing a truly powerful movement in history. Yet, in the midst of a pandemic, our community, sadly, is not intact. We have all not survived. We are all not doing well. And yet, we are all figuring out how to continue moving forward. The solidarity that workers are building across our movement shows us the way. And that solidarity will survive beyond this moment. Solidarity is how we'll create the workplaces and the world we deserve. Solidarity is how we'll express our full power and realize the fullness of our dreams. Solidarity is our survival. And that's what brings us together tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. I extend a special thanks to tonight's event sponsors and to all Brandworkers donors and community of food worker allies. As you might know, tonight kicks off Brandworkers' end of the year fundraising campaign. Together, we'll be raising $185,000 for food factory worker organizing. Let's give a round of applause for that joint effort. We raised $87,000 so far, and tonight we aim to raise $30,000 more. You can join us and give in solidarity by texting Give BW, BW for Brandworkers. Give BW to 44-321. Again, that's Give BW to 44-321. 2, 1. We'll check in to see how we're doing throughout the night. Please join us in giving what is meaningful to you. Every donation goes directly to supporting independent worker organizing at Brandworkers. Thank you all so much for joining us and for your solidarity with Food Factory workers. We have a powerful program tonight. I can't wait to hear from our worker leaders and for all our supporters. Let's get started by hearing from Brandworkers members about what it has taken to survive this year. Let's get going.
Cuando empezó la pandemia me sentí afectado, yo y mis compañeros que nos quedamos sin trabajo por tantas semanas y nuestro empleador no nos reconoció nada y no fuimos calificados en el employment. He sobrevivido compartiendo alimentos con mis compañeros.
Cuando comenzó la pandemia fue muy duro para mí. Caí un poco en depresión por falta del trabajo, las preocupaciones. Llegué al punto de ir a visitar a mi doctor primario para darme un medicamento y tranquilizarme para la ansiedad o depresión que yo tenía. Y eso fue a causa de los 20 años que yo tenía trabajando en Tomcat. Entonces eso no me cayó muy bien, ese descanso que me dieron de repente, que fue de marzo 20. Para tratar de sobrevivir la pandemia, mi familia y yo tuvimos que pasar cosas muy fuertes, tuvimos que unirnos más. En algunas ocasiones que yo visitaba, había miedo de un lado como del otro a consecuencia de contagiarnos del virus. A veces nos llamábamos lo más común era que nos llamábamos por teléfono y esa era la única comunicación más segura que podíamos tener.
Para mí lo más difícil que ha sido es la salud y los biles de la renta, los biles del gasto desde la renta. Ya lo económico, pues gracias a Dios, a la comunidad que siempre nos ha ayudado con la comida, pues eso es lo que nos ha ayudado, pero de la renta de la familia, pues eso es lo más difícil. No síntomas, pero nos dio fiebre, nos dio como escalofrío, pero yo y mi pareja y otros familiares se contagiaron, pero nosotros no fuimos a un hospital por el miedo ir a un hospital, que nos enfermamos, que nos contagiaron otras personas. También nos dio mucho miedo. Me dio miedo también por mis hijas, me dio miedo qué pasaría, imagínense pasar, pero Dios no lo quiso, así nos recuperamos en casa. Nos quedamos en casa para recuperarnos sin un medicamento, pero gracias a Dios nos recuperamos.
Y entonces en el trabajo lo único que eran los que nos tomaban la temperatura. De ahí no hacían nada más. No te preguntaban cómo te sientes o no. Lo único que te chequeaban a la hora de entrada, a ver, acércate para tomarte la temperatura y si estabas bien, y si no, pues te decían, no, vete para la casa que tienes alta la temperatura. Pero yo tuve más de 3 semanas afuera y más o menos ellos se dieron cuenta que yo hacía falta, porque me preguntaba al supervisor cuándo podía regresar. Yo le dije, todavía no puedo, me siento mal todavía, como las fiebres que me dieron fueron demasiadas fuertes. Entonces yo me sentía sin fuerza, no podía venir luego. Tuve que tomar otra semana para poder agarrar fuerzas, comer bien. Ajá, y ya después me presenté. Pero nunca me preguntaron los dueños diciéndome cómo te sientes, cómo estás, trajiste algo para poderte pagar, o si no trajiste te vamos a dar algo, ¿no? Nada. Nunca me preguntaron eso.
Comenzó la pandemia, me ha afectado esto bastante. Me ha afectado a mí, uno en el trabajo, otra con mi salud, otra porque al no tener el sustento que me entraba antes, no puedo resolver muchas partes de mi problema, que mi renta, que mi medicina, que mi comida. Son preocupaciones que le llegan a uno a la cabeza. Una de las cosas más difíciles de esta pandemia es quedarme sin trabajo. Otra, pensar tantas cosas que le llegan a uno a la cabeza, que nunca en mi vida pensé vivir esto. Pero hoy tengo que aceptarlo porque imagínense, no solamente yo estoy pasando por esta. De tanta gente que tengo a mi alrededor, amigos, amistades, compañeros de muchos años, que estamos todos en la misma.
Cuando comenzó la pandemia, yo me preocupé por mi salud, porque si yo me enfermaba, nadie iba a poder ir a trabajar para poder cubrir los biles. Tengo a mi mamá que ya es mayor de edad, y nadie le iba a poder llevar a un hospital si yo estaba enferma. Y sí me preocupó en verdad la pandemia, porque tengo hijos pequeños que ellos necesitan todavía de mí. El patrón nos había dicho que si nos empezábamos a enfermar, nos teníamos que ir a la casa. Y yo me puse a pensar, si yo me voy para mi casa, ¿cómo voy a poder cubrir mis biles? A mí lo más preocupante de esta pandemia es que yo dejé de trabajar un tiempo y ahora yo trabajo, pero no lo suficiente. Y lamentablemente más de 200 personas conocidas como sacerdotes, taxistas, compañeros de trabajo han fallecido por esta pandemia.
Gracias a todos los miembros de Brandworkers por haber compartido sus experiencias con nosotros. Thank you, Brandworkers members, for sharing your experiences with us tonight. In the face of extreme difficulties and so much suffering and so many obstacles, food factory workers have continued to sustain all of us through 2020. While some of us could stay home, they had to go to work. As you heard, the risk members face at work has significant and profound consequences in their lives. We have not all survived. In April of this year, we lost our dear compañero Juan Nito Castillo to COVID-19. Juan was one of the leaders of the Tomcat Bakery Workers I-9 Audit Resistance. He was one of the leaders of this amazing campaign. He was vibrant, cheerful, always excited about what he was trying to do with his fellow friends and colleagues. He was committed to the organization, a proud father, un luchador. Please join me and Brandworkers members in remembering Juan tonight.
Yo conocí a Juan en el 2006 y lo que más recuerdo de él es su sonrisa, que era una persona que siempre andaba alegre, bromista, trabajador, y lo que más me inspira era que era una persona positiva y que siempre participaba en las reuniones y siempre creía que íbamos a ganar la demanda.
Bueno, Juanito lo conozco en el año 2010. Nosotros nos conocimos en el trabajo. Lo que yo me recuerdo de Juan era que era una persona, siempre era una persona alegre, nunca se metía en problemas, se llevaba bien con todos. Y lo que me inspira de él es de que siempre era una persona positiva, siempre pensaba que algún día íbamos a ganar la campaña y todo lo que él decía pues cumplía cuando tenía que participar. Y es lo que me inspira de Juanito.
Puedo hablar de Juan, pues bueno, conozco a Juan de hace 25 años, trabajé con él durante 13 años juntos, lo que me recuerda de él es mucho que él era un hombre muy alegre, muy trabajador, y la inspiración de él es que es un buen padre y que sus grandes logros fue todo para su hijo.
Sí, para mí Nito era una persona muy especial, siempre andaba contento, nunca lo veía enojado, siempre andaba sonriendo, andaba feliz. Me sorprendía porque pues no, él nunca había conocido una persona así muy alegre como él. Él daba consejos, todo, muy linda persona, su genio, todo, muy bien, nunca tuvimos problemas, nada. Y ya.
Fuimos nosotros mismos que nosotros nos sentimos mal, que falleció, se nos fue un amigo, pues, un compañero de nosotros que teníamos en el trabajo, que siempre, cuando nosotros llegaba, él tenía musiquita ahí, siempre él relajaba con todos nosotros. Ahora cabrones tienen música para escuchar música y trabajar contento, dice. Eso era que nosotros los traíamos, porque nosotros siempre éramos compañeros de él y él de nosotros, y él siempre tenía algo que decir que nos hacía reír.
No sé ni por dónde empezar a cantar estas emociones, porque jamás regresarás. Tú te has marchado a otro lugar donde ya no existen temores. Mi corazón se lastimó al recibir esa noticia, que te aferrabas a vivir, que tú no te querías ir, pero ya no había salida. Y de las cosas que me acuerdo es que siempre estabas sonriendo, pues era tu forma de ser. Eres mi hermano y te agradezco todo lo que un día vivimos. Un compañero de batallas, fiel amigo. Eres mi hermano y aunque tu presencia ya no esté conmigo, sé que por siempre cuidarás de mi camino.
What a powerful remembrance. It is the sacrifice of workers like Juan Nito who inspire us to continue our work organizing and fighting for workers' rights. Thank you so much to all of you for sharing your memories of Juan. And a special thank you to Juan's family, who joins us tonight from New Jersey and from Mexico. Thank you for your sacrifice and for allowing us to be part of Juan's family in the struggle for social justice. We mourn your loss together as a movement, and we wish you comfort in your grief. We are joined now by Brandworkers Executive Director Daniel Gross.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you for having me be part of this amazing gathering of leaders and of workers, and to reflect on the accomplishments of Brandworkers, but the accomplishments of workers in this terrible year for everybody.
You are my dear sibling in struggle, my friend, my colleague, my compañera, Dr. Campos-Medina. Thank you for being here tonight. You're with us in the sad times and the hard times, and you're with us in the joyful times as well.
As I was listening to the video of Juan, I was thinking about all those amazing members and stories of workers that, despite so many sacrifices, they're so committed to empowering their coworkers and their community. And to me, that's the joyful work that we do, when we're able to empower workers who come here to give their lives to the struggle, right? And they commit themselves to make life better for themselves and for the community. So to me, that's joyful, and I draw energy from that. And I always have been grateful to you for bringing me into the Brandworkers family, and for bringing Cornell and the Worker Institute into the Brandworkers family. So I thank you for that opportunity.
Absolutely.
As we continue this celebration, I think it's important for the rest of the world and everyone who's here to understand a little bit more about what Brandworkers has been doing through the pandemic and before. So will you share with us your perspective on this year? What has meant for Brandworkers and for the local food industry? And like, how have we built worker organizing power, like worker power? And what are your perspectives on what happened and how we're building power?
Absolutely. I'd love to speak to that. And let me just first just share a little bit about my journey, because I miss my friend Juanito greatly. And I struggled to find meaning. It's still surreal to see him on video, to see his pictures all over our office. I'm still in disbelief that he's gone, and it was so hard to figure out how to move forward. And finally, it really struck me. It struck me speaking with Juan's coworkers, and it struck me especially speaking with Juan's family, with his incredible son, Felix, who was with Juan at every Brandworkers meeting, action, and training. They were a duo.
Yes.
They were always together. Juan's incredible daughter, Emily, in her early 20s, she partnered with Brandworkers, and she led so courageously to make sure Juan had a dignified burial. Juan's incredible mother, Carmela, in Mexico, and Felix and Emily's mother, Marcela. And I want to just share something that Marcela told me not too long ago as this event was coming up, because it gave me great hope and it gave me great sustenance. And Marcela said, Daniel, sí, todavía se puede. still we can. Yes, we can, still. And that's what gives me meaning. That's what makes me positive that Juan's death was not in vain, because of the courage of his family, his coworkers, and the justice he inspires in all of us in the Brandworkers community to pursue a future where every immigrant food worker and every worker can live with safety and with dignity.
I remember when we spoke when he was sick and we didn't know how to, help him. I remember that we were all concerned about his health, of course, but how do we continue inspiring the solidarity that he inspired for all his coworkers? So to me, his legacy is a legacy of solidarity for building the movement, even in the middle of so much pain and sacrifice. So in the spirit of that solidarity that he inspired all of us, what is in the future for 2021 for Brandworkers, and how do we use the inspiration that he gave us and he gave his co-workers to continue the fight for what he believed in and he sacrificed and his family believed in, which is justice for those workers like him who come here to build a better future for themselves. So what does solidarity look like with Brandworkers for 2021?
Yes, well, when COVID hit, thank goodness we had a strong organization, and Brandworkers members are resilient. This is not the first time Brandworkers members, immigrant workers of color, had to fight to survive. Brandworkers members made very hard decisions in their life to leave their home countries, to leave the regions that they loved and continue to love, to say goodbye to family members, to make a difficult journey to come to the United States. And if you ask Brandworkers members why their aspiration, they'll tell you it's so their children can have more justice, can have more safety, can fulfill their dreams. So we did not have a game plan for COVID at Brandworkers, but we had a tremendous muscle memory, as they say. We knew as a community what to do to hold space together as a community and say, what does our mission mean now? And the answer was, we have to maximize survival. We have to survive. And we have to do it in a way to build power for the long term, because we can never go back to a situation, as you heard so many members beautifully speak to. We can never go back to a situation where workers are so vulnerable to the recklessness and misconduct of the food manufacturing industry and of government at all levels. So that was our game plan for COVID, and we're very, very, very grateful for all the energy of Brandworkers members, because we know that the damage would have been far, far greater, and allies have stepped up so greatly.
I'm thinking of the word resiliency when you were speaking about how resilient workers have been and how resilient organizations like Brandworkers have been to address the crisis of the unfairness of what happens, not just the crisis of the health crisis, but the structural problems that we have with the inequality and the lack of rights for workers. So I want to applaud the resiliency of Brandworkers and the resiliencies of the members who were able to bring power together so that they could address the immediate needs of what was happening. I think about the word resilience and I get filled with joy, right? Because we have had to do so much with so little, and I want to express the gratitude for all those contributions and all those donors and all those people of conscience that contribute to this movement. And I want to, in this moment, this is an event to raise funds to continue to support the resiliency of workers and the resiliency of organizations like Brandworkers. And I want to just encourage you to keep giving and give whatever you can, $5, $1 to Brandworkers. And our goal today was to raise $30,000. And I want to say that since we signed on to this program to right now, we have raised $10,000. So yes, we have to keep, we have to thank you for that, because it's contributions like yours that keep the power of workers' commitment to solidarity moving forward. So we have, let's keep giving. Let's keep giving to Brandworkers. I have one last question that I want to ask you, Daniel, before we move on. What is your message to Brandworkers and the worker members about what is coming for our struggle in 2021?
Well, number one, compas, before anything else, we know this pandemic is not over. The numbers are not going in the right direction. So my top message to you is we can't count on the boss to keep us safe. We can only count on each other each and every day. Stay united. Fight back immediately against any lack of safety. Your Brandworkers community, you can see them here tonight. You can chat with them. They're behind you. It's been a long time in this pandemic, but we cannot get tired now. We have to stay safe. Number two, compas, you are carrying this society. They called you heroes, but you've been excluded from so much relief. You've been excluded from so much justice. Those who feed, those who care for, those who transport should be held high, should be elevated. We have to expect and demand the best for your families, and at Brandworkers will fight for it together. As is very clear tonight, we have an amazing community. They believe in you, they trust you, and you have their highest respect. Your responsibility and your right is to lead and to determine your destiny. We will follow you wherever you go.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I wanted to say that you have provided such great leadership to Brandworkers in helping workers find their power and help them elevate their voice. Because I think that they have the resiliency and they have the power within themselves. And our job as leaders is just to enable their voices and their strength in this society so that they can fight for the dignity and the justice that they deserve for themselves and for their children. So thank you, Daniel, for the leadership that you have lent for the last decade to Brandworkers in building such an amazing and powerful organization. Thank you for your inspiring words.
Thank you. Right back to you, Patricia, for contributing your vibrant leadership, your grassroots commitment that has never wavered and will never waver. It's such an honor. And to everybody, all the allies, to my amazing board of directors, to members and families, everyone tonight, thank you for your presence tonight. Your presence here does honor to the immigrant food workers that allow all of us to eat. The resources that we raise tonight mean deep and righteous fighting for justice in this critical year ahead. If you haven't had a chance to donate, you can do so now. There's a link in the chat, or you can text GIVE-BW to 44321. Thank you all so much.
thank you, Daniel. And like Daniel said, if you believe in the power of workers, and you believe in the resiliency of organizations like Brandworkers, please contribute today to give Brandworkers and text 44321 and give whatever you can. We need every contribution so that we can support the power and the inspiration of workers to transform our society and make sure that we come out better than where we were. We don't want to go back to where we were before COVID-19. We want to move forward, and we want to build power so that workers are safe at work because they know their power, not because they expect the understanding of the boss. Remember, power is not given. It is built and taken. And we are doing this right here at Brandworkers together. So thank you, Daniel. We will move on to hear a little bit from our great honorees and our great sponsors who have made this night possible and who have made the Brandworkers such a successful organization, because every money, every dollar that gets donated to Brandworkers goes directly to building worker power. So let's move on to learn a little bit more about our honorees. Thank you, and we'll continue doing this amazing show tonight.
Durante la pandemia me he sentido apoyado con la familia. Nos llamamos por teléfono, tenemos un gran aprecio con la familia y con los compañeros de trabajo también, que a la misma vez que son compañeros, son amigos. Nos llamamos por teléfono también. Y otra cosa que me siento apoyado también, que pertenezco a la mesa directiva y tenemos reuniones una vez al mes. Organizándome con mis compañeros, aprendí que estando unidos tenemos mucha fuerza y podemos lograr muchas cosas.
Organizándome con mi compañero, he aprendido mejor la vida, he aprendido a entender, he aprendido a estar unido, he aprendido a comunicarme y estar en grupo apoyando a la persona que hoy necesita, estando unidos y apoyándonos unos con otros. La unión hace la fuerza, y cuando hay fuerza no hay nadie que nos domine, pero tenemos que estar unidos, porque si no hay unión, no hay nada. ¡Tum!
Bueno, lo que a mí me ha sentido apoyo por esta pandemia es la ayuda de mi familia en unión y mis vecinos, que me han traído un cereal o una leche, y más que nada los doctores. Yo tengo a mi mamá, que ella es una persona especial, de sobreviviente de cáncer, y me han traído la medicina hasta la puerta de mi casa. Y tengo un hijo que usa un audio, y los maestros hasta la puerta me han traído los aparatos que él usa para escuchar bien la computadora. Yo tengo mucho apoyo, gracias a Dios, por mis vecinos y de la comunidad entera. La manera de que hemos enfrentado la pandemia, yo y mi familia nos hemos reunido en oraciones, y más que nada hemos enfrentado, nos han ayudado la comunidad en comida, y la familia de Brandworkers nos ha brindado una caja de comida y un pequeño cheque para ayudar económicamente en biles. Yo lo que he aprendido con mis compañeros es estar en unión y siempre luchar. Se tarda, pero se gana. Y nunca hay que perder la esperanza, porque al final nuestra dignidad es lo que cuenta. Sin nosotros no estamos juntos, nosotros no somos nada. Siempre que hay que estar en unión para seguir luchando nuestros derechos.
La ayuda mutua es muy importante, que nos ayudemos unos a los otros para que así no nos ve las personas que que ellos nos dicen que somos inmigrantes, que ellos están solos, pero no, hay muchas personas que nos ayudan de buen corazón.
No significa mucho para mí, significa que en estos tiempos tan difíciles necesitamos apoyarnos unos a los otros. También mi visión hacia adelante es mirar que toda esa gente emprendedora, trabajadora, tenga mejores salarios para estar en comodidad de sus familias.
¿Qué estás tratando de organizar o luchar en este momento? ¿Qué estás tratando de hacer con tus compañeros?
Bueno, ahorita queremos tratar de este año hablar con todos mis compañeros para que hacer una unión entre mismos nosotros, para que si algo nos llega a pasar de aquí a mañana, todos tenemos que responder sobre algún problema que haya con alguna persona de los compañeros. Quiero que todos estemos de acuerdo y todos nos paremos y nunca echarnos para atrás. Siempre seguir adelante en unión.
Con unión hay fuerza, se tarda pero se gana, y con unión hay dignidad. Those are the things that stuck up with me, listening to the testimonials from Brandworkers as they look forward to 2021. So thank you, compañeros, for those inspirational words. Like I said before, I'm always inspired by the resiliency of workers and for your vision, for your own life and for the lives of your family and for the movement. Staying in solidarity with you is our highest honor and responsibility. And together in solidarity with your resiliency, we will build a local food industry that responds not just to the needs of the consumers, but to the needs of the workers who make the food. If you are moved, like I have been, by the testimonials of the workers, the life of Juan, and all the stories that you have heard today, please give in solidarity with Brandworkers by texting to give BW 44321 44321 or follow the link on the chat box. Any amount goes a long way because it goes directly to organizing and supporting worker leaders in their workplaces. So with that inspiration from the worker members, now I am delighted to introduce tonight's champions of economic justice. These leaders that you will meet tonight have been at the forefront advancing economic justice and the protection and health of workers. Our first honoree is Rebecca Dixon, Executive Director of the National Employment Law Project. The National Employment Law Project has been a leading thinker and powerful advocate for a labor movement strong enough to lead us to racial, gender, and economic justice. For years, Rebecca has worked directly with labor groups across the United States to ensure that we will have the tools we need to support workers in expressing their power at work. When the pandemic hit, NELP, N-E-L-P, or the National Employment Law Project, moved quickly to get worker organizers the information they needed to support their members through the pandemic. Rebecca has been a consistent, clear voice, centering the needs and power of workers, while tying together the struggle and the demands of our movement. NELP, the Employment Law Project, has been an ally of Brandworkers, and we're thrilled to see where the organization is headed with Rebecca's leadership. Congratulations, Rebecca, for receiving the award for economic justice. Our second honoree, Dulce Castañeda, joins us tonight on behalf of Children of Smithfield, a group she helped organize in the spring as she and her friends grew increasingly concerned about the working conditions in the meatpacking plants of Smithfield. Together, the children of Smithfield have organized their community in support of their parents' demands for safer conditions at their plants. They connected with advocates and organizers through the food system, and their advocacy and organizing exemplifies the power of solidarity. We look forward to seeing their movement grow and show up in solidarity in every way we can to support the work that they're doing to improve workers' lives. Congratulations, Dulce, and congratulations to your parents and your compañeros. Early this week, we recorded short conversations with Rebecca and Dulce. We will hear from them tonight during those discussions. Before I turn it over, please enjoy these messages from tonight's event's sponsors. And remember, none of this work can be done without your financial contribution. So please give to Brandworkers by texting to 44321. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shelley Levine.
And I'm Larry Schwartz, and we're so happy to be with all of you tonight.
In this time of COVID, we want to extend even greater gratitude to food industry workers who continue to work under greater risks to them and their families while providing much of the food we eat. Larry and I admire, respect, and are inspired by the membership leadership model on which Brandworkers is based. It creates and empowers leaders in the workplace that can lead to long-lasting changes we so desperately need.
Congratulations to the membership and staff of Brandworkers for your dedication and hard work. And congratulations to the champions of economic justice honorees.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gabriel. I'm here with Brandworkers, and I'm just incredibly delighted today to be introducing Rebecca Dixon and presenting her with the Brandworkers Award for the Champion of Economic Justice. You know, Rebecca's work is incredibly inspiring because it envisions a labor movement strong enough to make real structural change in our society. And that's what Brandworkers is working towards. We're talking about structural change to dismantle racism, gender inequity, and economic inequality. Rebecca has been a particularly strong voice fighting for workers' rights to safe workplaces during COVID, and providing the tools that organizations need to press their demands locally. You know, Brandworkers, and I could say me, myself personally, we have benefited a tremendous amount from NELP's work during the Tomcat I-9 campaign. The trainings and the documents that NELP has worked on have formed the foundation of the workplace justice agreements that we've been pushing for at Tomcat. And so we're just so happy and we're so excited to see the direction of the organization under Rebecca's leadership. And so, Rebecca, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. And I just want to ask you a couple of questions. The first is I wanted to ask, what drives you to do this work?
Sure, Gabriel. My commitment to advancing workers' rights and racial and economic justice is deeply rooted in my lived experience growing up in rural Mississippi at the intersection of race, class, and gender, characteristics that have long defined our ability to participate in our democracy and economy. Historically, Black, Latinx, Indigenous, and other workers of color, especially women, have been shunted into low-paying, insecure, and dangerous work and often left out of social insurance programs. Together with workers and their advocates, NELP works to strengthen protections and build power for workers in the United States. I couldn't be more proud to lead work that is so vital, meaningful, and personal to me.
I also wanted to ask, what inspires you about worker organizing right now?
Gabriel, throughout history, moments like these, when we face both a pandemic that is a health crisis and an economic crisis, these moments have created windows of opportunity to demand and win change. In moments like these, we have collectively acted to shift the lopsided balance of power between workers and corporations. This pandemic has exposed what is lacking. Worker protections like nationwide paid leave and paid family leave are especially absent for the lowest paid workers, and workers are treated as both essential and disposable. Despite the real risks of employer retaliation during this pandemic, workers in the United States have organized strikes, and they are standing up to demand protections like hazard pay, protective equipment, and sick leave. I'm inspired by workers stepping into their power at this moment.
Thank you so much. I want to ask you one last question real quick. What do you see solidarity looking like in 2021?
I really see solidarity growing in 2021. We have the opportunity to push for worker-centered solutions to the challenges that we face. We are stronger together, and when we raise our voice collectively and demand respect, rights, benefits, and protections that we all deserve, we are witnessing a collective awakening. And I hope that this ushers in the power that we need to win transformative change and an economy that works for us all.
Again, Rebecca, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And it's been a real honor for Brandworkers and myself to present you with the 2020 Champion of Economic Justice Award. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gabriel.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Bulmaro Cruz. Trabajo para Tomcat Bakery por 21 años y soy miembro de Brandworkers por 9 años. Y también soy miembro de la mesa directiva de la organización. Gracias por estar con nosotros para este evento. Nuestra primera gala virtual de Brandworkers nos ha inspirado su trabajo para organizar junto con sus padres que trabajan en las empacadoras de carne. Es un buen ejemplo del poder de la solidaridad para hacer cambios y mejorar las condiciones del trabajo. Por eso estamos muy felices de presentarse con el premio de campeón de justicia económica de Brandworkers. Felicidades. Quería ver si nos podía compartir con nosotros un poco sobre su experiencia.
Sí, claro que sí. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Dulce Castañeda. Estoy con el grupo Children of Smithfield. Nosotros empezamos a organizar en abril de este año por el motivo que nuestros padres, que eran trabajadores esenciales en empacadoras de carne, estaban experimentando pocas protecciones después de lo del COVID-19. Entonces empezamos a organizar para que la compañía les diera más protecciones, que les diera tiempo de enfermedad pagada, que les dieran también PPE y todo el equipo que iban a ocupar. Entonces desde abril venimos realizando este trabajo.
Oh, wow. Tengo una pregunta más. ¿Por qué decidieron organizarse cuando empezó la pandemia? ¿Y cómo reaccionaron sus padres?
Sí, entonces empezamos a organizar. Nosotros somos de un pueblo pequeño en Nebraska que se llama Crete. Hay una empacadora de carne que se llama Smithfield. Entonces, en ese tiempo estábamos viendo que nuestros padres nos estaban contando realmente atrocidades, ¿no? De lo que estaban viendo, experimentando en su trabajo, con la falta de protección. Entonces, queríamos hacer algo para que ellos estuvieran protegidos. Ellos muchas veces no tienen miedo a hablar o exigir sus derechos, a veces porque la compañía puede tomar represalias en su contra. Entonces, nosotros estábamos en una posición para poder apoyarlos y hacer que sus voces fueran escuchadas.
Tengo una pregunta más. Dice, ¿qué es lo más importante que ha aprendido en este trabajo?
Yo creo que lo más importante que hemos aprendido en estos meses es que los pequeños logros o las pequeñas ganancias valen mucho y son importantes tanto como las metas grandes, ¿no? Entonces, cada paso del proceso importa, por más pequeño que sea el logro, cumple en la meta más grande. Entonces, es lo más importante que quizá hemos aprendido en este tiempo.
Oh, qué bueno, qué bueno. Tengo una más. Dice, ¿qué significa la solidaridad para usted y sus compañeros?
Yo creo que sobre todo la solidaridad demuestra que, bueno, hay que pensarlo de la forma que todas nuestras luchas están conectadas, ¿no? Mi lucha es tu lucha es mi lucha. Entonces, yo creo que hemos tratado de vivir por ese lema. Es lo que nos ha ayudado a seguir con este trabajo. Entonces, reconocer, ¿no? Que todos estamos conectados, que debemos demostrar apoyo uno con el otro, porque todas nuestras luchas están conectadas de alguna forma.
Sí, qué bien, gracias. Una más y la última dice, ¿cómo esperan que crezca el movimiento para justicia de los trabajadores inmigrantes?
Hay mucho trabajo todavía por hacer. Yo creo que esto es solamente el principio, ¿no? Entonces, este tiempo de COVID-19 lo que ha hecho es poner como un microscopio a esto que estamos viendo, que siempre ha sido los problemas que experimentan los trabajadores inmigrantes, especialmente. Entonces, yo creo que es una lucha que va a seguir. Esperemos que podamos inspirar a más personas a formar parte del movimiento. Hay mucho trabajo por hacer. Entonces, esperamos que siga creciendo esto.
Oh, qué bueno, qué bueno. Gracias por compartir su poderoso trabajo con nosotros. Felicidades por ser campeones de justicia económica. Espero mantenerme en contacto con ustedes. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias a ustedes por nominarnos y honrarnos de esta forma y honrar a nuestros padres. Gracias.
Ok, felicidades. Adiós.
Sorry about that. So good evening, Brandworkers community. My name is Fila Townsend, and I cannot tell you how delighted and humbled really I am to be joining you all tonight. More about me in a minute, but right now I want to ask you all to find your phones. And if you haven't done so yet, once you've got it, go ahead and text GIVE BW to 44321. Follow the prompts and then choose a gift level that feels right for you. So in the course of my research and policy work, I've talked to and worked with dozens of labor leaders from across the country. And, in Brandworkers, I have to tell you, I see the best of what is to come in the labor movement. This is an organization that is truly driven by workers themselves who center gender and racial justice in their building of worker power. Tonight, we've heard about how workers have relied on the solidarity of their coworkers, neighbors, friends, and loved ones to survive throughout this pandemic. Together, we've seen how solidarity is sparking a movement for worker power throughout the food system and beyond. Listening to Brandworkers tonight, make no mistake about it, solidarity is our survival. So, as you've heard tonight, this is a gala kicking off Brandworkers' year-end campaign to raise $185,000 for independent worker-led organizing. With the support of our sponsors and host committee members, we've raised over $103,000 so far. So to meet this year-end goal, we need just to raise an additional $14,000. We want to go over that, but the goal line is near, I think, if we all chip in. So there's no doubt that's an ambitious goal, but as we've seen together, we are so much more than what it takes to merely get by. Our solidarity is powerful. And right now, in this virtual space, we are hundreds of people from across the United States to Mexico, Chile, and beyond. I am absolutely delighted to announce, thanks to a very generous gift from Tom Kramer and Michelle Berger, that every gift that you give tonight will be matched up to $15,000. So thank you so much, Tom, and thank you, Michelle. So let's see what we can do together. We can meet our goal right now if just 15 of you could pledge $1,000 in solidarity with food factory workers. If you can just give $1,000, go ahead and please text that in. Again, the code to text is GIVE-BW, and the number is 44321. So what can this money do for us? So with $1,000, Brandworkers can carry out one-on-one conversations with entire organizing committee of workers, ensuring that workers have the opportunity to learn key skills from organizers and to engage in the really deep work that is needed to make their campaign successful. Wow, we've just received a $2,500 gift from Melanie Greenberg. Thank you so much for your solidarity. Thank you, Melanie. Can anyone join Melanie with the $1,000 gift? With $500, Brandworkers can organize an action that brings together members and allies to send a powerful message to factory owners, that they have to respect worker voices. With just 30 $500 gifts, we would meet our goal tonight. Can you just give $500 tonight in solidarity with food factory workers? Thank you all so much. I'm just waiting for this to roll in, for your really generous gifts. So who will join us tonight in giving $500? Thank you. Thank you so much. This is really exciting. So to keep workers connected, Brandworkers organizers have had to brave the cold winter, the heat of summer, and now during the pandemic, the risks of being in public. So with just $100, we can provide PPE to mitigate the risks that organizers face. This will help ensure that they have the support they need for campaign success. Can you contribute $100 to our goal tonight? Again, send your solidarity via text using code GIVEBW to 44321. Yes, Jess, I see your solidarity. Thank you so much. Thank you for this generous pledge. What a powerful community here tonight. This is how solidarity spreads and sparks change throughout the system. So just rolling in here. Thank you so much. Gwen Wilcox. Oh, Gwen's an old, long time. You may not even remember me, but thank you so much for your generous gift, Gwen. Who will join Gwen tonight in giving $500? Thank you. Okay, they're rolling in. Thank you so much for your pledges. So what a powerful, powerful community here tonight. Everyone, the contribution you make is deeply meaningful to helping food factory workers express their power together. Again, text GIVE BW to 44321 and join with us in this moment of powerful solidarity with this community. Okay, thank you so much. As we get ready to close out, I invite you all to reflect on this power we have together, on what you've survived, and really what solidarity looks like for you in the year ahead. Text again, GIVE BW to 44321. Donate what you can now. Your solidarity ensures that food factory workers in the city have powerful organizing, a home that they need to fight for the dignified working conditions. Thank you so much, Norman. Norman and Nurse Gross. Yes, Norman and Nira, sorry. Nira. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. So you can continue to text throughout the evening. We have just $9,000 left to meet our goal for tonight. I'm sure we're going to get there. Thank you so much for this solidarity. It has been wonderful to share this space with you. If you've given tonight, you can multiply your impact and get us to our year-end goal by just signing up at brandworkers.org/fundraise. And invite your friends and loved ones to join us. Thank you so much. And before I pass it back to Patricia, to close out tonight's broadcast, here's some quick words from Brandworkers members about how their donation can make an impact, how your donation can make an impact.
Me da esperanza en el futuro Brandworkers de seguir unidos para tener más fuerza y en mí en lo personal seguir siendo miembro de la junta directiva.
Mi esperanza para el futuro con Brandworkers es que nos unamos más, hagamos más reuniones, apoyarnos más, hacer más fuerza.
Mi esperanza para el próximo año del 2021 son que sigamos en unión y que primeramente Dios esta pandemia se vaya para seguir ayudando más trabajadores que quizá ellos no saben sus derechos laborales y seguiremos ayudándolos para que ellos salgan de ese encierro que tal vez ellos no saben que nosotros podemos estar unidos y vencer esta pandemia para que así sigamos luchando por nuestra dignidad de nuestros trabajos.
Mi visión para el futuro es que cada empleador respete los derechos de los trabajadores, que sean justos con sus salarios y que tengan seguro médico. Por eso nos organizamos, por eso necesitamos su apoyo para seguir adelante. Gracias por su contribución.
Pueden ayudarnos en la comunidad para hacer protestas económicamente, apoyo laboral y ir a las marchas cuando las personas nos necesiten. Tenemos que apoyarlos para seguir en la lucha. Su contribución mantendrá fuerte a nuestra comunidad.
Su contribución que ayuda a nuestra comunidad que sea más fuerte.
Su contribución ayuda a mantener fuerte nuestras comunidades.
Por favor, ayude con lo que más pueda. Gracias.
What a powerful evening. Fela, you were amazing. Thank you for inspiring our people to contribute and to support worker organizing. In a year of so much suffering, of so many changes to our workplaces, into our lives, Brown workers members have relied on and manifested solidarity central to their own survival and to the survival of their fellow workers. As we head into 2021, we can follow their example toward a more just economy and society. We are all in this together, and if we believe it, we will support their struggles to making their lives better. I am grateful tremendously for the opportunity to be here with all of you tonight and to be inspired by your sacrifice and by your commitment to build and power together. In the past hour, we have raised over $25,000. Thank you. You are an amazing community of people supporting worker organizing and worker power. Our goal for the end of the year is $185,000. You can help us get there by signing up as a host of a fundraiser for Brown workers. You can do your own fundraiser in your own home. Just contact us and we will let you know how to make that happen. Thank you. There's still time to donate. You can give to Brand Workers by texting to 44321. So do it. We're about to end, but it's never too late to make one more contribution. Every dollar you give helps Brand Workers members connect and support each other and improve their working conditions at work. It ensures that food factory workers have access to the highest quality of training and support from organizers so that they can move their struggle together. As such, we are in a powerful moment in our society right now. We are building social change. And we are doing it because workers are leading. And as Cesar Chavez said a long time ago when he led the movement for workers' rights, that once we reach that moment in society where we begin social change, it cannot be reversed. You cannot educate workers who have learned to read, he said. You cannot humiliate a person who feels pride, and you cannot oppress workers when they are no longer afraid. By contributing to Brand Workers, you help build a community that is powerful and it works every day to change our society. Support brand workers and you support worker power. Thank you. I am honored to be here. I am honored to be part of this community. And let's continue fighting for economic equality, for social justice, and for worker power. Thank you for contributing. Remember, visit us at brandworkers.org. And always, if you want to donate, text, just send a contribution. Solidarity forever.
Thank you.